Hello everyone, I'm Matt Yoakum. Thanks for doing a drive-by at NASCAR.com as we continue to celebrate Champions Week here in South Florida today. It's our Nationwide Champions Chat presented by Nationwide Insurance and our new champion in NASCAR, Ricky Stenhouse. Congratulations. It's been a day and a half or so. What has it been like the past, 36, 48 hours?
Thank you. It's been sleepless. A lot of interviews, a lot of media, but I wouldn't trade it for anything. We've had a lot of fun with it, and just glad to get it done and get it over with. It's been a long season. We've been up and down. We've taken the points lead, lost it, and luckily the last time we were able to gain it. Just keep gaining points every week and trying to separate ourselves from the rest of the field. And going into Homestead, it was nice to have some pressure off and go out there and race hard. But yeah, a couple days after here, and I'm still feeling pretty good.
I'll tell you what, tremendous response over your championship run. And it's been a special weekend in South Florida for the TSR alumni. Your dad had a big night last night taking home the Sprint Cup championship.
That was big for him. We were taking pictures for the champions with Austin and Tony and I, and he was pretty excited, not only for himself but for me as well. And that was pretty cool to see. He definitely did what he said he was going to do. So that was crazy. Either way, I was going to be excited. If Carl won, obviously I would have been excited for Jack and for everybody. And then so either way, I wasn't going to really lose. I felt like out of that.
Now, didn't you guys go fast together somewhere, and the local law enforcement decided he might have been driving a little too fast?
I think we did. That was one of the cool things about Tony is what he's done for me. Is after I raced with him, he flew to Salem, Indiana when I was running for Jack and came and spotted a race for me. Flew all night after one of his races, so it was pretty cool. And we did get pulled over that night.
What did the police officer say to you?
Well, first off, he didn't know it was Tony, which was really funny because he's like, "Oh man, we're not going to get a ticket. He just doesn't know who I am yet." About 5 minutes goes by. It's like, "Tony, I don't think they're going to realize who you are." Sure enough, he comes back to the car and tells Mr. Anthony, "You need to slow down. It's getting dark outside. It's raining. Plus, you have the little one in the front seat." And I think I was 20, 21 at the time, and I was like, "Man, thanks. This guy thinks I'm like 10." But yeah, that was a fun night, and that story, I think everybody knows about it in the garage so far. So now everybody at home knows too.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I tell you what, it's been a special weekend so far, and there's been tremendous response from the fans. Our chat questions have been lined up for a few hours, and let's go right to them. First, Rick from Horn Lake, Mississippi.
Uh-oh.
Yep. What do you think about being DeSoto County, Mississippi's first NASCAR Nationwide Racing Series champion?
Feels good. And December 3rd, I'm going back home to my hometown, Olive Branch, and being the Grand Marshal and Christmas Parade. So plan on bringing this thing with me and maybe showing it around. So it should be fun. And I definitely have a lot of supporters in our hometown and counties, and it's cool to be able to represent them. Are
you going to kind of utilize this like how a lot of hockey players do the Stanley Cup, where they take it to all their different favorite places and get pictures with it? And
I might. The first picture I took with it, I think, was on the beach after staying up all night. So I think I might take it around home and see what we can do with it.
Well, Dixie writes in, how did your dad help you overcome your difficulties of the past 2 years to reach your success that you've achieved this season?
Well, it depends on which dad you're talking about. My dad, my real dad, my dad,
we joke around about the fact that Tony Stewart is his dad because of their relationship.
Son. Yep. Yeah, so he called me, and when I saw him yesterday, he's like, "Son, I'm proud of you." So, but no, my dad, he's a hard worker, and he raised me to be a hard worker and to never give up. So I think that was one of the things that kind of helped me get through the last 2 years of going up and down and riding the roller coaster that racing has. And it's if it wasn't for him, none of this would be possible for sure.
TJ Maxx, not the store, but a poster. He wants to know, have you and Jack Roush talked about your future for 2012?
We haven't, but maybe I can take him by the pool later today, and maybe
because there might be a car available over in the Cup shop.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm not too sure what's going to happen. A lot of people thought that we were going to say something this weekend. I don't know where they got that from, but Jack and I are going to talk. Obviously after Homestead, we were going to talk, and hopefully something good comes out of it.
Terrence Levin wants to know, how does it feel to have won a championship this earlier in your career, and how does that really change up your goals and your timeline of where you felt like you needed to be and should be?
It's big to win races, and then to win a championship is just a tremendous accomplishment, not only for myself but for our whole team and everybody that stood behind us. I always think winning championships and things like that early in our careers could be somewhat bad because you expect to do it all the time. But I think the season that we went through in 2010, I think it matured us all, and to really able to take on this championship and represent it well, represent Nationwide Insurance in our Nationwide Series is best we can, and I think that going through that last year really helps us appreciate what we've done.
Another question here for you. What are your plans for the off season, and you'll be making any appearances besides heading home to Olive Branch?
Man, I'm not sure. I haven't even looked at the schedule. December 8th, we're going up to Nationwide Insurance's headquarters. The whole team's coming up, so that should be fun. Looking forward to that. But really, other than that, going home for the holidays, I don't have anything planned. I don't like to fill up my off season. I like to just kind of go with the flow. If something comes up, we'll go do it. But our schedules are so set throughout the year. It's nice to not have a schedule.
Chris Gutierrez sends in a question. Will you be making any more Ricky versus Trevor videos during the off season?
I don't know. I might retire from that. No, I don't know. We've done a lot for sure. Trevor and I, we were kind of wondering what was going to happen after this year. We don't know if we're going to keep doing it or.
Did you have a favorite?
My favorite was the Red Sox going to Fenway Park. That was a lot of fun, but that was kind of to draw some media attention, which it did. But we were thinking it was going to help, get a lot of media and maybe get some sponsorship on our cars, but that didn't work. So I'm not sure if we're going to rethink our game plan there or not.
Chris writes in, how heavy is that trophy?
Are
we going to have a chiropractor adjustment by the time you get back?
Maybe so, because we took pictures on Saturday night after the race. We had to do a lot of them holding it just with one arm just around, and we took a lot of pictures.
And it's about half the size of you. So.
It is about half the size of me, and it's pretty thick. So it's Austin Dillon was looking at it.
Around 88 pounds, maybe.
It's hefty.
Yeah,
it's hefty. Glad I was working out though before I lifted.
All right. The next question is from Rubbin' Is Racing. Is your freezer constantly stocked with Blackwell Angus beef, and can you send some his way? But see, he didn't post his address, so we can't send it his way.
Sorry, we can't send it.
It's all about the little things.
Man, our freezers are stocked full. They send some to Dad in Mississippi. I get, our race team gets them, and I really enjoy them. It's nice to not have to go to the store to get your steaks. They're just right there in the freezer, and everybody at Blackwell Angus Beef and Cargo, they really take care of us, and hopefully we can work with them again next year.
Next question comes in from Barbara McDonald, and she wants to know, what happened to your golf cart?
Oh, yeah. I had nothing to do with that. After we got done taking pictures, a lot of us came up to South Beach and then showered and went and hung out. But I got back to the racetrack at 8 o'clock the next morning, and I pull up next to the motorhome, and I look at our golf cart, and it's filthy. There's a tree branch hanging off of it, mud everywhere, and my mom was outside. I said, "Man, Mom, what happened to the golf cart? Where's Dad?" And she said, "Well, he just got home." Apparently, there's a few back roads, dirt roads.
Oh yeah, I've been. Roads around.
And I've been on them. I've been on them. Dad called me Saturday night after I got back up here to South Beach to the hotel, and he asked me, he said, "How long is that dirt road behind the racetrack?" I said, "It's about 10 miles." And it heads south towards Key Largo. And he's like, "All right, well, I'll call you from the other end." Well, I thought he was going in the rental car or something. Well, come to find out, he went in our golf cart and he turned the lights off and just held it wide open.
Which is already bad. You turn the lights off,
It's dark out there, and there's potholes. It's been raining, so they were all filled with water.
Oh, yeah.
And so, as you can imagine, they held it wide open, went through there and just hit whatever. And then that was the talk of the garage. I walked around Sunday all day. Ricky, what happened to your golf cart? I was like, look, I didn't have anything to do with it. But Dad said he had a lot of fun, so I think that's all that matters.
I'll tell you a quick story. On that same road, I know which one you're talking about, the late Benny Parsons and I, we'd finished doing the Sprint Cup race in Homestead, and so we were taking the back way out to the hotel, and we're running. We've got a Ford Explorer, four-wheel drive, and we're going along, former series champion, Daytona 500 winner. We buried that sucker in a huge hole about the size of the Explorer.
Nice.
And so we're sitting there, and it's down in the water. Luckily, our boss came by with a Hummer, and we were able to kind of go through the window to the next window in the Hummer because we were right in the middle of the lake. So I know exactly what your dad. So you should feel lucky that it at least came back.
Yeah, he made it back, and he got lost there for a minute, but he found his way back, I guess.
When you look back to this season, and we've had a few questions on it. Yes, this past weekend was very special. It's one of those moments that it defines a career. But when you go back, it's always the little things that will stick out in your mind. Were there a couple special moments throughout the year that people might not realize meant so much to you?
After like a win, when you have people like, Tony, he left me a 2-minute voicemail. That's special to have somebody who's now a 3-time champion that still cares about what you're doing as a race car driver. And there's always little stuff like that, other crew chiefs coming up to you, the Chad Canouses, the Polos, like everybody that's out there that, is on another team or maybe a different level. When they're calling and congratulating you, that's pretty special.